Be me, 32, work as a project coordinator at a marketing firm. Genuinely believe in equality, always have since college. I just believe women deserve equal pay, equal opportunities, all that basic stuff. Have regular conversations with coworkers about these things. Sometimes get frustrated when the guys in the office talk over me in meetings. Pointed it out once, got labeled as sensitive. Whatever, I stand by it. Tonight, heading home late from work, around 9 p.m. Took the subway like always, transferred at the main station downtown. Platform is moderately crowded. Maybe 20 to 30 people waiting. Notice this guy staring at me from across the platform. Middle-aged, disheveled looking, making intense eye contact. Look away. Check my phone. Normal stuff. He moves closer. My stomach drops a little, but I tell myself I'm overreacting. He's now maybe 10 feet away, still staring. Start looking around. Notice several men in suits nearby. One guy, literally 3 feet from me, scrolling his phone. Another 2 guys talking to each other, maybe 6 feet away. Disheveled guy takes another step toward me. Hey, sweetheart, where are you going tonight? Ignore him completely, turn my body away. I'm talking to you, don't be rude. He's getting closer. I can smell him now. Cigarettes and something sour. Heart starts racing. Look directly at phone guy near me. Make eye contact for a brief second. He immediately looks back at his phone. What the fuck? You think you're too good to talk to me? Disheveled guy is now right in my space. I step back. He steps forward. This is getting bad. Look at the 2 guys talking. They glance over, see exactly what's happening, then continue their conversation. My brain can't process this. There are people everywhere. Multiple men right here watching this happen. Leave me alone, I say, voice shaking, trying to sound firm, but I'm terrified. Or what? You gonna call your boyfriend? He reaches out like he's going to touch my arm. I jerk back, almost stumble. Phone guy literally shifts his position to turn away from me. I'm not imagining this. He's deliberately not looking. Panic rising in my chest now. Where the fuck is the train? Check the display. 4 minutes. Might as well be 40. Come on, just give me your number. Don't be a bitch about it. He's backing me toward the pillar now. I'm genuinely scared. Not uncomfortable, not annoyed. Scared. There's an older man in a business suit reading a newspaper. He's close enough to definitely hear this. He turns a page, doesn't even look up. What is happening? Why is no one doing anything? I said leave me alone. I say it loud, hoping someone will notice. Several people glance over, including a group of 3 younger guys, maybe mid-20s. They look at each other. One shakes his head slightly. They turn back to their conversation. I'm shaking now. Disheveled guy laughs. No one's gonna help you, sweetheart. Better just be nice to me. That's when I realize he knows. He knows no one's going to intervene. That makes everything so much worse. Finally see headlights in the tunnel. Train is coming. Just need to last 1 more minute. He moves to block my path to the train doors. Where are you going? We're having a conversation. I duck around him quickly. He grabs my sleeve. Not hard enough to really hold me, but enough that I feel it. I yank away, fabric stretches. Doors open, I practically dive into the train car. He doesn't follow, just stands there smiling. As doors close, I see all those men still standing there, not one of them even looking in my direction. Collapse into a seat, shaking. Feel like I'm going to throw up. Couple of women across from me look concerned. Are you okay? One asks. Did you see that? I ask, voice cracking. Yeah, that guy was harassing you. What the fuck? Why didn't anyone help? She just shakes her head, looks angry, but not surprised. Get home, pour a large glass of wine, hand still shaking, keep replaying it in my head. All those men, they saw. They knew. And they chose to do nothing. Next day at work, still rattled. Tell my coworker Sarah about it during lunch. She's horrified. Oh my God, that's terrifying. I'm so sorry. But why didn't anyone help? There were so many people there. She gets this weird look on her face. Were they mostly men, the bystanders? Yeah, why? She hesitates. I mean, you know how it is now. How what is? Guys don't want to get involved anymore. They think we'll get mad at them for assuming we need help. I just stare at her. That's ridiculous. I was clearly in danger. I know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what I've heard. This sits wrong with me all day. Can't focus on work. Keep thinking about phone guy's face when he looked away. It wasn't fear of the situation. It was something else. That evening, meeting up with my friend Maya for drinks. She's one of my closest friends. We talk about everything. Tell her the whole story. She listens, eyes getting wider. And then phone guy literally turned away from me. Maya, he turned away. She's quiet for a minute. Okay, don't get mad at what I'm about to say. What? My brother told me something a few months ago. He's early 20s, right? Yeah. He said he and his friends have basically decided not to intervene in situations like that anymore. I feel my jaw clench. Are you fucking serious? Let me finish. He said they got tired of being called white knights or being accused of thinking women are helpless. But I was helpless in that situation. I needed help. I know, I told him that, but he showed me all these posts and tweets and stuff from women saying they don't need men to protect them, that it's sexist to assume they can't handle themselves. My face feels hot. So, what? They're just going to let women get assaulted because their feelings might get hurt? That's what I said, but he was like, we can't win either way. If we help, we're sexist. If we don't help, we're assholes. So we're choosing the option where we don't risk getting publicly destroyed. I want to argue, but something about this rings true. Remember the way those three young guys looked at each other? That head shake. It was a decision, a conscious choice to not get involved. This is so fucked up, I say. Maya nods. I know, but haven't we kind of said stuff like that too? My stomach drops. What do you mean? Remember when Jake from accounting held the door for you and you made that comment about being capable of opening your own doors? I did say that. It was a joke. Mostly a joke. That's different. Is it though? How is a guy supposed to know when you want help and when you'll be offended by the offer? I don't have an answer. Finish my drink in silence. Next few days, can't stop thinking about this. Start noticing things I never paid attention to before. At work, when I'm carrying a heavy box of supplies, male coworkers walk past without offering to help. Used to, they would always offer. Remember complaining about it once. I can carry a box, Derek. I'm not made of glass. Derek doesn't offer to help anymore. With anything. Notice in the parking garage, I'm walking to my car alone at night. There's a man about 30 feet behind me. He slows down significantly, lets distance grow between us, pulls out his phone and makes a very obvious phone call, almost like he's making sure I know he's not following me. Never noticed this behavior before. Was it always there? Weekend, decide to go to this community discussion thing at the library. It's about public safety in the city, mostly older people there, but some younger folks too. During the open discussion, woman in her 60s raises her hand. I'm concerned about how people don't look out for each other anymore. Everyone's on their phones. Murmurs of agreement. Then this guy, maybe late 20s, raises his hand. I want to address that, actually. He looks nervous. I think, speaking as a younger man, there's a reason some of us are hesitant to intervene in situations. Room gets quiet. Go on, says the moderator. If I see a woman who looks uncomfortable or in trouble, my first instinct is to help, but I've been told by women in my life that this is patronizing, that I'm assuming women can't handle their own problems. And some women in the room are nodding. Others look annoyed. I'm frozen in my seat. I've been called a white knight. Been told I'm only helping to get something in return, been accused of thinking women are weak. He's getting more confident now. So, I'm in this impossible position where if I help, I'm sexist, and if I don't help, I'm also sexist. So I've chosen to just not engage. That's a cop-out, says a woman near the front. You should help people regardless. Okay. But when I do, will you defend me when I get blasted on social media for it? Because that's happened to my friend. What happened? Asks the moderator. He saw a woman struggling with a flat tire, stopped to help. She took his photo and posted about how she didn't need a man to rescue her and how patronizing he was. He got identified, people found his employer, whole thing. Several people start talking at once. I'm sitting there feeling sick. Because I've said things like that. Not about that specific situation, but similar things. Remember being at happy hour with coworkers, talking about this guy who insisted on walking me to my car. Like I can't walk 50 feet by myself, so condescending. Everyone agreed with me. It was condescending. Wasn't it? But also, would I have wanted him there on that subway platform? Meeting ends, can't stop thinking. That night, do something I never thought I'd do. Start reading men's perspectives on this stuff. Not the crazy incel forums or whatever, just regular guys talking about their experiences. It's uncomfortable. A lot of anger, sure, but also a lot of confusion, a lot of, I genuinely don't know what women want from me. Stories of helping and being rejected. Stories of not helping and being condemned. One guy writes about seeing a woman being harassed at a bar. He intervened. She told him to fuck off. She was handling it. He backed away. Later, she complained that no one helped her. He's like, "But I tried, and you told me to leave." Comments full of men sharing similar stories. Start to feel this creeping realization. We've created this situation, not maliciously, not on purpose, but through 1,000 small interactions and corrections, through asserting our independence, which is good, but also through rejecting help, even when well-intentioned, through assuming the worst of men's motivations. Guy holds a door. He thinks I'm weak. Guy offers to help with bags. He's being condescending. Guy expresses concern for my safety. He's being patronizing. Except when I actually needed help. Where were these assumptions then? Next week, back at work, in the break room with a few coworkers, Tom mentions he saw a woman getting yelled at by some guy in a parking lot. "Did you do anything?" asks Jennifer. "Nope." "Seriously?" Tom shrugs. "Not my business. She's an adult. I'm sure she can handle it." There's something pointed in the way he says it. Jennifer drops it. "But I can't." "Tom, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Would you have helped if it was a guy getting yelled at?" He thinks about it. "Probably not that either, honestly, but definitely would have been more likely to." "Why?" "Because if it's a guy, worst case, he tells me to mind my business and I leave. If it's a woman, worst case, she takes my photo, posts about it. I get called a creep, maybe lose my job." That's a bit dramatic. "Is it? Remember Marcus from sales?" I do remember Marcus. He got fired last year. Something about inappropriate behavior. He complimented a woman's presentation, said she was articulate, got reported to HR for being condescending to a female colleague. That's not the same as helping someone in danger. Isn't it, though? It's all the same calculation. Is this interaction worth the risk? I want to argue, but I'm thinking about that guy on the subway platform. Phone guy. He made a calculation. He decided I wasn't worth the risk. That night, can't sleep. Keep replaying everything. The fear I felt, the abandonment, but also, every time I've rolled my eyes at a man offering help, every time I've assumed the worst motivations, every conversation where I've agreed that men who intervene are probably just trying to be heroes. Think about this guy at a party once, saw me dealing with a drunk, aggressive dude, stepped in, offered to be my boyfriend to get rid of him. It worked. Later I told my friends it was annoying that he thought I needed a man to save me. They all agreed. We laughed about it, but he did save me from that situation, and I mocked him for it. Not to his face, but still. Start to realize the scope of this. It's not just me. It's a whole cultural shift. Men are opting out, not because they're evil or don't care, but because we've told them to, not explicitly. but through 1,000 small interactions, and now we're shocked when they actually listen. Decide to do something probably stupid. Post in a women's discussion group I'm part of. Just lay it all out. What happened to me? What I've been learning. Ask, have we made it impossible for men to help us without facing backlash? Responses are mixed. Some women share similar stories, times they needed help and no one came. Growing realization that men are genuinely afraid to intervene. But others are angry. We don't need men to save us. This is just another way to blame women for men's behavior. Men should help people because it's right, not because of social consequences. And they're not wrong. But they're also not right. Because should and reality are different things. One woman writes something that hits me. I've spent years telling my boyfriend not to be overprotective, not to treat me like I can't handle things, and last month I got followed to my car and he was with me and didn't do anything because he said he was respecting my independence, and I was furious at him, but also I trained him to be that way. Yeah, that's it exactly. We trained them. Weekend, meeting Maya again, she can tell I've been spiraling. You okay? You've been weird all week. I can't stop thinking about the subway thing. Understandably, it was traumatic. No, I mean yes, but I can't stop thinking about why no one helped. We talked about this. I know, but it's bigger than I thought, Maya. I think we've actually created a situation where men are afraid to help women. She's quiet. And I think I've contributed to it. Tell her about Tom's comments, about the discussion at the library, about everything I've been reading. So what, you think feminism is bad now? No, God no. I still believe in equality. I still believe in everything we've fought for. But I think we haven't thought through all the consequences. I think in our fight to not be seen as helpless, we've made it socially dangerous for men to offer help. They should offer anyway. Should they? At the risk of their jobs, their reputations. If someone's really in danger, yes. But how do they know when it's real danger versus when we'll be offended by the assumption that we need help? Maya doesn't have an answer. Neither do I. A few days later, something happens. Walking to my car after work, different parking garage. Hear someone behind me say, "Excuse me." Turn around, it's a younger guy, maybe 24 or 25. "Sorry, I just wanted to let you know there's a guy who's been following you since the elevator." Points behind him. Sure enough, sketchy-looking dude hanging back. "I'm heading to my car. Happy to walk with you to yours if you want." My immediate reaction, before I can stop it, irritation, like, I can handle this. But then I remember. Remember being on that subway platform. Remember the fear. Remember everyone turning away. "Yes, thank you. I appreciate it." He walks with me to my car. Sketchy guy veers off when he sees I'm not alone. "Thank you so much." "No problem. Have a good night." He starts to walk away. "Wait." He turns. "I want you to know I appreciate you taking the risk." He looks confused. "The risk?" "Of me being offended that you thought I needed help." He laughs, but it's not a happy laugh. "Yeah, honestly, almost didn't say anything. Figured you'd tell me to fuck off." "Why'd you do it then?" He shrugs. "You looked scared and I'd want someone to help my sister, so..." He walks away before I can respond. Sit in my car for a while, thinking about what he said. He almost didn't help, because he expected hostility. But he did anyway, and I almost gave him that hostility. My trained response was annoyance, not gratitude. How many men have stopped at almost? How many have decided the risk isn't worth it? Back home, thinking about all of this, about the subway platform, about phone guy and the business suit guy and the 3 young guys, about Tom's calculation, about the library discussion, about my own reactions and assumptions. Realize this isn't about abandoning feminism. It's about recognizing unintended consequences. We fought against benevolent sexism, against the idea that women are delicate flowers who need protection, and we were right to fight that. But somewhere in that fight, we made it taboo for men to offer protection even when it's genuinely needed. We created an environment where helping a woman is a potential minefield, where the social risk outweighs the benefit, and men, being rational actors, have adjusted their behavior accordingly. They've opted out, not because they're monsters, but because we've told them to. Through social shame, through accusations of sexism and white knighting, through questioning their motives, through 1,000 small corrections. And now here we are, women in danger, men standing by, both sides frustrated, both sides feeling wronged. Don't know what the answer is, can't just go back to traditional gender roles, don't want to, but also can't ignore that something's been lost. Some social contract that used to exist, where people looked out for each other, where men felt okay intervening on behalf of women in danger, where women felt okay accepting that help. It's broken now. Maybe it was always broken in different ways, but it's definitely broken now. Talk to my mom about it. She's in her 60s, sees things differently. In my day, men would step in without thinking twice. But in your day, they also thought women couldn't do anything without men. That's true. It wasn't perfect, but at least people helped each other. So what? We should go back to that? No, but maybe you should think about what you've thrown away along with what needed to go. She has a point. We threw the baby out with the bathwater, rejected protective behavior entirely instead of just rejecting the assumption that we always need protection. Made it all or nothing. Either women are strong and independent and need nothing from men, or women are weak and helpless. No room for nuance, no room for, I'm generally capable but sometimes need help. No room for, I appreciate assistance in genuinely dangerous situations. It's all become political. Every interaction filtered through ideology. Guy holds door, statement about my capability. Guy offers help, statement about my competence. Guy intervenes, statement about my agency, instead of just. Human helping human. Realize this is what's been lost. The ability to just help without it being a political statement. The ability to just accept help without it being a referendum on feminism. Few weeks pass, still processing everything. Back on the subway. Different time, different platform. See a woman being harassed. Different woman, similar situation. Guy won't leave her alone. She looks scared. Notice several men nearby. They're all very deliberately not noticing. One guy has headphones in, but I can tell they're not playing anything. Another guy is staring intently at a blank wall. They know. They see. They're choosing not to engage. I walk over. Hey, Sarah. Sorry I'm late. Pretend to know her. Harasser looks annoyed but backs off. Woman looks relieved. Thank you so much. No problem. As I walk away, make eye contact with headphone guy. He knows I know. He looks almost guilty, but not guilty enough to have helped. Realize this is the world we live in now. Women protecting women. Because we've made it too risky for men to do it. Not sure if this is progress. Not sure if this is what we fought for. Still believe in equality. Still believe women deserve respect and opportunity. But also, can't stop thinking about that subway platform. About all those men who saw and chose nothing. About how their choice was rational. About how we created the conditions for that choice. Don't have answers, just questions. Just this uncomfortable realization that maybe we didn't think through all the implications, that maybe in our fight against one kind of sexism, we created conditions for a different kind of abandonment, that maybe the men who won't help aren't the problem, maybe they're the symptom. And maybe, just maybe, we need to figure out how to rebuild some kind of social contract where people can help each other, without it being a political statement, without fear of backlash, without all this calculation and risk assessment. But I don't know how, and that's the scariest part. Not the guy on the subway platform, But the fact that I understand why no one helped, understand their logic, understand their fear, and can't actually argue that it's irrational, because it's not. It's completely rational. And that realization, that's what keeps me up at night.